Okay, last week we have
Sorry.
done this.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, anything? Shall we continue or you want to wait for someone? Okay, let's go. Okay. So last week I explained to you how to produce a seeds, right? From the layout plan, we create the seeds, right? This is actually your drawing. Later you can print these seeds, right? You cannot just print. You cannot print the layout plans, right, like this. But seed can be printed, right? This one can be printed. You have the title bar, so it's in a scale, so you can print this one, right? So last week we have named some beams. So today I can continue to be name the other beams, right? So basically I can complete the layout to a second story layout plan. Okay. So let me go and name these ones. Uh, right. So let me see the names. What's the name? I just use a running number. You can use a different method to name it. Right? There's a many way to name it. I believe you are familiar, right? How to name the beams, right? So some of these they have a different standard, so you can follow the standards, no issue. Right? I just use the running numbers. Right. So I quickly finish the naming, then we can go to Tekla structure and export the design results. Last time we already finished the design, so we can export to Revit. Okay, so we almost name all the names, right? Column already named, right? So it's already done. Wall, right? You can use a manual naming, right? Wall, actually, we cannot name by tag, so you can use a manual naming, right? So how to do? Go to annotate, use a text, and you can name it. Let's say this one is lip wall, right? So I am going to name it LW1, L LW1. right? Right. So this one, let's change the color, right? Oh, okay. Then I can copy paste, right? This group of wall, I want to call staircase, right? So I want to call staircase one. So SW1, right? So later in the detail, right? You can zoom up this detail. You see, we already create this one SW1, right? So you can blow up this detail and create a separate drawing, right? In your drawing, right? So this one I call SW2, right? Right. So this one I call W1. It's not a staircase. It's a normal wall, so I call W1, right? Okay, this is a retaining wall, so I call RW, right? Okay. So we almost finished, right? We name everything, right? Oh, okay. We have to name the slab also. So slab, right? How to name it, right? Normally we provide the thickness, right? So how much thickness we use? Let me see here. What's the slab thickness? 275. Okay, 275 thick slab. So normally we provide the thickness 275 mm thick, right? Then we draw the circle, right? So this one is annotate, right? So you go to the uh, lines, detail lines, right? So draw the circle, right? Okay. So normally slab we are marking like this. Okay. So if you have a different thickness, then you can change it. Here different thickness, then you can change it. So if you want to show that one way slab, right, then you can use a detail line, right? Let's say, right? So you can draw the lines like this. So once you finish this one, you can save as a template and you can use for the future projects, right? Okay, fine. So now you can group together. This all are you can make it group, right? All make it group. All the group. Hmm. Yeah, groups. Okay, this I call slab marking. Slab mark. Okay. So this one also I group it. Right. Group. This one I call slab S275. Slab thickness S275. Right. So if you want, you can move anywhere, right? This one now you can move as a group, right? It's like a AutoCAD, right? No much different, right? So I don't need to explain too much on this one. Okay. Okay. For example, this slab is spanning this way, right? So you can copy this one, paste here. Then what we can do, we can rotate this one, right? It's a normal way. You rotate it, right? Okay. It's simple, right? So this similar way you can do everything, right? I know can spend a lot of time here by this simple way. So now you know the idea, right? So which way you want to spend it, you can do this way, right? All these are the 2D things, right? It's not related to the modeling. Okay. Now if you go and see your drawing, right, you can see all these details, right? All are all the details, right? So if you want to write the notes, right? Let's say you want to provide some notes, right? Right? So you have some options, like, okay, let's say, okay, this one move up, right? So here you can provide some notes, right? Sometimes you have the notes, right? You can normally I don't suggest to write on here, right? Normally what we do is under rafting, right? We create the new rafting views and write down the notes, right? Because I can copy the same notes to the other layout plan, right? So I don't need to just copy paste. I can copy, just import it, right? If you don't want, just you can just take a note text, right? You can write down your notes, right? Let's say note, right? Note number one. Um, all concrete grade shall be C3240 unless noted otherwise, right? Something like this, right? Also you can say all slab thickness shall be 275 mm unless noted otherwise. Okay? Something like this, right? So whatever notes you want, you can write down like this. Okay. Okay. So now it's layout plan is complete. It's ready, right? You almost provide all details basically. Then you can write out the notes, right? Column detail refer to which drawing, beam detail refer to which drawing. Um, the wall, right? Wall. If you call out, okay. If you don't call out, then you can refer which drawing is supposed to refer for step detail. So you can provide all the notes here. Or other way, you can create a new rafting view. Already I explained how to create. Then you put all these nodes there. Then you can import as a view, right? Then every floor you can repeat the same nodes. Okay. Okay. So now you understand how to produce a layout plan from the plans, right? Sorry, the drawing from the layout plans, right? Right. So now you are clear, right? How to create the drawings, right? So if you want to print this one, right? You go to print, right? So print, click print, right? So you set up the printer, which printer you want to do. I select the PDF, right? Then you see combine multiple selector view or sheets in a single file. Right? If you want to combine or separate, right? Then browse where you want to serve it. Let's say I want to save in the desktop, right? Okay. Select the view, select the seat, which seat I want to select, right? So I select this seat, 202, okay, select, okay, then that's all, then we click OK, the one seat continue, yes, right? So file name, uh, file name, so I outside, second story, plan, right? So now let's go, we have second story plan, right? This is our drawing, right? PDF drawing. Uh, I think someone can you pause your, okay. Please don't unmute your mic. Okay. So now you can see, oh, sorry, you don't see, right? I share, okay. Okay, now you can see the PDF file. This is a printed PDF file. Okay. So now you have the drawings on your hands, right? All details are there, right? It's very easy, right? So once you finish the modeling, then your work 90% done. Then the others are all are wrapping well, so you can produce faster, right? Okay. Actually, it's much easier than AutoCAD. Okay. So I not going to spend the time on the rest of the layout plan because it's just a repeating things, right? So what I'm going to do is now I go back to Tekla Saxa and export the beam detail. Last time we already designed beam and column detail. Then we import this detail to our drawings, right? Sorry. Okay. Before that, what I want to do is I'm going to hide the wall slab first, floor, slab. Okay. What I want to do first is I want to rename the beams. It must tally with my drawing, right? It should be tally with my drawing, right? Otherwise it's not meaningful, right? So so I had to rename it because it's automatically software name the beam, so I had to rename it now, right? So what I want to do is, okay, you see username, right? So I can provide my own name. Okay, so this one I'm going to call 2B1. So, oh, okay, this naming is different system. Hmm. So they have this style. 2B1 dash 1 dash 2 because they consider a one continuous beat. Okay, never mind. Okay. So this one, let's go. What name we have given? 516. Okay. Right. So, okay. 2B5. Oh, okay. No, you don't allow. Never mind. Okay. Then probably I had to rename here. Okay. So this one, how I want to call it is, uh, okay. I supposed to do earlier. Never mind. Hmm, property. Hmm, so property. Okay. So this one I'm going to call dash one. Alright. Okay. One dash two. One dash. Otherwise, what you're going to do is after you export from Tekla, right? You have to rename it in AutoCAD. That's also possible if you don't want this method. I think easier. This method is easier. If you follow the same name convention, then it's easy. Actually, sorry. Actually, I forgot this one. I supposed to earlier. To be three. Okay. This one to be three. That's what. This one for to be four. This one five. To be five. Okay. This beam one. Okay. Five. So this beam six. Let's say to be six. Is six. So six. Okay. This one six. Right. And two be seven. Two be seven. Two be eight. This one two be nine. And two be 10. 10. This one two be 11. This one two be 12. Okay. And finish one in that Revit first. 7-1, 7-2, 8, 8, 9, 2B, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, this side complete. Okay, now here, this one 13, make it 13, this pin 13, 13. Okay, over here, this one make it 13, will be 13, this one will be 14, one will be 15, this one 16, will be 16. Okay. 40, 40, 15, 16. Okay, finish. Okay, finish. Then next one is a column. So yeah, column C1, C2. Okay. Okay. So column, this column, right? C1, C2, C3, C4. Okay. C5, C6, C7, C8, C9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, right? So let's see here. Here also 14. Okay. Then this wall W1, we make it W1. Right? W1. Okay. So the group wall not possible to make it here, right? So we name it our own. Okay. Okay. This wall we have name it, right? Okay. Let's make it W2. Okay. In Revit also we do it. This wall W2. Okay. W2. Okay, fine. Okay. So now design review, right? So last time we already done it, right? Right? So I'm going to export only second story, right? Other story I don't care for, right? Second story, right? First to second. Okay, fine. Okay. So now I'm going to export the results, right? So it's go to the report. Not report, sorry. Design. So it's review and review. Okay. Okay. Foundations, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Uh, so what I'm going to export is beam detail, beam schedule, column schedule, right? Wall schedule I don't need. I actually I want the plan, right? Wall design, right? So that's what I don't need. Okay, right? So first I go to drawing management, right? So what I want is concrete beam detail, right? So I add it, right? So this one is a content, right? So which one I am going to do it, right? So basically I want all second story, right? So I pull the second story. Okay, they have the different places, they have a different group, right? Different group, okay. The group by level, I want the levels. Okay, so I want all these beams. Let's see, I pull it, okay. I pull the second story beam, right? Other plus I don't need. So name I call second story beam details. Okay, the revision we don't need, right? Right, vertical. Okay. View detail. Beam detail, we make it 1 next to 2.5. Okay, fine. Okay. Actually, last time we learned, right, how to do all this one, right? Okay, yes, review. What are details are given, right? Okay. Why this one missing? Let's see. Why? 2B. Okay. This is their presentation. They put the 2B here, then here is like, okay, I want to change this one. So yes, you can change it here, edit it here. Don't take it. 2B 1 dash 1 dash 1, right? Similarly, you can edit it. 2B 1 dash 2, 2B 1 dash 3, 2B 1 dash 4. This one no need. If you want, you can personalize this, but I don't like this presentation, so I am changing. This one 2B 2. I want I want a presentation in line with Revit, so I am changing this way. Okay, this one okay. Okay, this one we don't need the dash one, right? It's only single span, so we can change like this. 2B 3, then this one 2B 4. Oh, two. Why there's a 2B 3? How come? Why? Line 16 and 18. Line 16 and 18. Line 16 and 18. Let's check one later. Why is like this? 2B3, yes, one. Yes, 2. Okay. This one for 2B4, yes, one. B4, yes, 2. 2B4, that's 3. Oh, this one 5. 2B5, that's one. 2B5, that's 2. 2B5, that's 3. Okay. And 2B6. Correct. Okay. 2B6, that's 1. 2B6, that's 2. 2B6, that's 3. 2B6, that's 4. Okay. 2B7, this one. 2B7, that's 1. 2B7, that's 2. 2B8. 2B9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. Yes, so 14 to y to, there's a 14, 9, 10, 13, this 14, 15, 16. Yes, the fourth B number 14 to, this is 19 and 21. 9, okay, let's see, this been 300 by 600. 300, so this is something wrong, something wrong. It 40, 60. So this one we don't need. Okay. So generally we don't provide a section. We don't need these kind of sections, right? This elevation is sufficient. If you want section, you can leave it. Otherwise, you can delete it, right? Because in the sections, right, you see there's a lot of details, right? It's unnecessary. And definitely we don't need this schedule. So I delete the schedule also, right? I delete this one. This one also don't need, right? Right. So actually I'm going to delete the sections, right? Section to me is not important, right? You can delete it. Actually, you can delete it section, right? If you want, you can keep it, but generally we don't need. The all information are given in the elevation, so sections are it's not so important, right? Okay, if you want, then you have to arrange such a way because you cannot provide a very long drawings, right? Then you have to arrange such a way in the drawings, right? You can edit everything in the AutoCAD before import to Revit, right? It's based on your needs, you can provide the sections, right? So at this moment I delete it, right? So all I delete it. Sections I don't need. Okay. So now you see we have these details, right? So this one also I delete. Actually, this there's no beam like this. I delete this beam also. Yes. Right. Okay. I move all the drawing upward. Right. Move. Right. So this one I maybe this detail I move up. Right. Ah, detail also move up. So basically I arranging this drawing. Right. So next time we can we try to print in one sheet or two sheets, right? So all these basically surrounding work. So okay. Actually, if we don't need, right, okay, we can delete unnecessary line because this software, right, is giving the unnecessary line, right? Look, basically this is right. We don't get a grid like this, right? You can delete this script, right? So major grids you can leave it, other grids, right, you can delete it, right? Basically, right? We don't get 27 also, right? You can delete. this rearrangement you can do in Revit also, but doing in AutoCAD easy. You can do faster. I Revit also you can do it, but here you can edit faster. And that's why I'm doing here. If you want to do some modification, draw the lines or anything, do it AutoCAD. But in Revit also you can do it. Last week I explained right how to do a 2D draw details, basically 2D lines, right? So you can use that method to delete, you draw it right later on. Later on I show you how to do it. But if you are familiar with AutoCAD, you do in AutoCAD. Otherwise you can do in Revit, right? Right. So I already rearrange it, right? This drawing, right? So I save it this one, right? Stop, memory, second sorry, in detail. Okay, okay. So now I got away with, right? Okay. Now we know how to import it, right? Last time we learned it, right? So before import, I create the rafting view to import this one because I cannot import on the layout plans, right? Layout plans basically for the plans, right? So I don't want to mess up the layout plan. You can import anywhere, but I want to arrange such a way. I don't want to mess up other places, so I create a rafting view. So I call this one as a second uh, story beam details, right? I set the scale 1 to 100. Right, later we can change it, right? So whatever detail we can change it. First I set this one, right? So now go to import, go to insert, import cat file, right? Choose a cat file, second story beam, right? Is unit is a millimeter, right? We are following millimeter, right? So it's auto direct, right? So now you have the detail, right? Okay, okay. But now see, cannot edit it, right? Because this one just export as one frame. So that's why you can edit it. Okay, okay, what to modify? Why not working? Hmm, I can't export. Actually, it can be exported. Why I cannot select anything? Mm. Why is like this? Ah. Mm. Mm. Actually, it can be edited. I don't understand why it's not happening. I check and let you know next week. Actually, it can be edited. Actually, we can select this one and edit it, but this one they don't allow. I don't know the reasons why it's like this. Very funny. Okay. Last time you remember, we can able to edit it. We can select the point, but here they don't allow to do it. Okay. Never mind. I do it. I explain to you next week. Okay. Okay. This is circle for the beam. Similarly, let's do for the columns. Right. Okay. Go to the array. Right. So now we go to the drawing management. Right. We want the column detail, concrete column detail. Right. Concrete column. Add. This one we call uh, concrete column detail. Column detail. Right. So content. Right. Uh, all this one. Right. Basically. Right. All the columns. Right. We want. Right. Okay. Select OK. Layout plan vertical or horizontal view details. This one. Okay. Right. So this is a column detail. Right. Right. Here I don't need to edit much. Right. So basically it's a detail. Right. So I serve with this one. Delete this one and serve. Right. Okay. Column, column detail. Right. Okay. Closed. Okay. Okay. Then wall detail. We go to concrete wall detail. Right. Add concrete wall. It wall. Right. Center. What we want basically is a W1 and W2, right? Others we are not interested. right? Others we are not interested at this moment. So we want, okay. Now, if you don't want the column schedule or column detail or beam detail, you can prepare a schedule, right? Last time I explained, right? So, if you want the column schedule, you can select the column schedule, right? Basically, right? Right? You can produce a schedule, right? So, you see, it's nicely prepared details, right? Nicely prepared a column schedule, right? Column names and so on, all details are there, right? So we are not interested on this one in the drawing, right? So delete. So now we can produce it. We can save this drawing. Do we want to change anything? Actually, I don't need this one. The height I don't want to show on the drawing. Sometimes people provide a concrete grade here. If you want, you can provide. Otherwise, you can delete. You can leave it, right? If you don't want, okay. So if you, what you can do is if you want to edit this column, right, you can explode and delete these lines, right? If not necessary. I don't want to call this starter bar basic. Undo yes and okay. I also don't want to call this name meter. Right, this reference I don't want to keep. So basically I want to call story 2 only. Okay. Right? Hmm. So this one also actually not necessary lah. Not export here. Actually I forgot the command for export. Is it correct? Export. Hmm. I don't know why it's not working. I believe you guys know right how to basically you had export this table right and delete unnecessary this objects right. These not necessary for us. Oh, undo. right? So basically it's a cleanup work. So after that you serve it, right? So it's called column schedule. uh, Column schedule. I want to call column schedule, right? Okay, fine. Then beam we have elevation, right? So generally we don't need the schedule, but if you don't want the elevation, you want to plot the schedule, right? Then you can prepare the beam schedule, right? So beam schedule actually before go to schedule, then you have to set up, right? Mm, okay. Schedule management, okay. Beam schedule add in, so content we don't want all members, right? Basically we want my levels. So we want also console beam, right? So we want a console beam. Okay. And then we schedule. Okay. So let's see the schedule. I have a concern about the naming system. Let's open the schedule and see how to modify. Oh, nothing. Okay. Very fine. I okay. Something not correct. I is not working. Hmm. 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 I think my software got some issues. That's why it's not preparing the schedule. But it's preparing for all schedule. Let's see. Okay. Next week I saw this problem. I don't understand. I really what's the problem. Maybe some software, so I had to restart it. Right. Anyway, watch column beam schedule, right? Last time I explained, right? Just click here to produce it. So I don't know why it's not generating. Okay. Okay. So basically, we already have all beams, columns, and walls, right? So now we can import it here, right? So we can create a new rafting view. Let's go to view, rafting. So I want import column schedule, right? Right, column schedule. So go to insert, import cat. So we import the column schedule, right? Okay, column schedule important, right? Okay. Then we create another view, rafting wall schedule. So import cat wall, concrete wall schedule. Okay. So this one not necessary to ask anyway. Okay. Okay. So now it's already we imported, right? So what we can do? We have to create a new sheet, right? So A1, right? So I'm going to name it, rename it. This one, this sheet number I'm going to call 300, right? Column schedule, two, right? So now we had add the view here, right? So it's a rafting view, column schedule, add to here, right? So this is 100 scale, right? So we can reduce it, right? So maybe for 50 or 50 also same. So we can make it 25, I think. Oh, 25 is big, right? So I keep it 50 now. And if you want to create 25, what you want to do is you have to break it, right? Here you got to break it, right? After you break it, then others you can move to the other column, right? If you want 20 or 25, actually you can do it, right? These parts, these three columns, you got to remove, divide it here, then you got to bring to the next sheet, okay? Okay, actually it can be edited, but I don't know why it's not working today. Actually it can be edited, right? So there's something error in the software, right? So next we explain how to edit this one. So we can, if you break it here, then we can make as a two drawings, okay? Okay, so all details are here. Similarly, right? Okay, if we move this one upward, right? Let's say if we move this one upward, right? So we can provide our these three drawings to below, right? Necessary, right? Then we can create another sheet for wall. So this one I rename it to wall. So we add the view wall, right? So this one we can change to the scale to 25 or 20. Okay, so we can move up, right? So wall shell is right there. Beam and actually we had to export here, then only we can produce the proper details, right? Otherwise it's very hard to read it, right? So we had to crop. Basically we had to crop. Now I couldn't select, right? So if I able to select, then I can crop this view. So certain things we can move to the next page, right? Now I cannot do it because of this one, because it's not allowing to edit it. I don't understand why. There may be some setting issues. Uh, yeah, anyway, close and again open. Hmm. Hmm. Actually, it's invisible. That's a problem. Okay, sorry. I cannot solve the problem. There's something issue in the software. I next week I explain to you how to do this one. Okay, the editing, how to edit this edit, right? Okay, so we have some time, right? So basically now already I explained to you how to prepare the whole drawing, right? Layout plan, then how to import from the AutoCAD, right? So now we have the column schedule, beam, wall schedule. Similarly, next week I explain how to prepare these drawings, right? So then you can prepare all the details, right? Okay. Okay. So we have some time. So now I explain how to put the schedule in the Revit. Okay, okay. This one you should not confuse. Or Techno structure schedule, right, is a rebar schedule, but Revit schedule is a quantity schedule. If you want to extract some quantity, then you can use a Revit to do it. Okay, basically it's for your quantity takeover for your cost estimation, right? So schedule, go to schedule, right? Right click, create new schedule. Okay. So here you have to select the category. I don't want architecture. I want structure only. So go to structural column. Right. I just extend the column first. Similarly, you can do for beams and other elements. Right. Okay. Now we have to select which are the element we want it. Okay. I want the base level. Right. Then I want the cost. For example, cost count. How many counts. Right. Then I want the mark. column mark. Then I want the type, column type. Okay. Then I want the volume. Weight I don't need. I'm not interested on the weight. Okay. Then now I rearrange this one. Cost bring down. Right. So I want the mark first. Then type. How number of count, volume and cost. Okay. Okay. This one we can name it structural column schedule, right? So now you see story, right? Story one, story two, and so on, right? So we have a mark, right? We have a mark. Then this a column type is a column size. Is a how many numbers one each. Okay, because it's a, each are showing, right? So each number one. What's the volume, right? So it's a basically it's a volume. So there's a two small columns, right? Uh, don't know why it is two columns, right? Need to check, right? Right? So these are the columns, right? Okay. So the interesting here is you can do the cost estimations, right? So I explain how to do it, right? So go to sorting, right? Okay, sort by, right? Base level, right? To the right. So I want the counting, total counting. Okay. Then sort by mark. Okay. Okay. So now you see we have a first story, second story. I not interested anyway. We don't do the second story. The first story, right? So we have 14 columns, right? All are align it, right? So we have the total column here, right? This one actually not necessary. So I delete this one. Yes, delete. Right? This one also two also at this one we don't need, so we delete it. Right? So first story you see we have the all columns, right? Okay. So now it's a cost. Okay, how to calculate the cost? For example, if I know the uh volume cost for the volume of 1 meter cube concrete, how to calculate the total cost? Okay. So now we have to go to the layout plan, right? Okay. Select the column, right? Edit type, right? So if you go to here, right, you can see cost, right? If you enter the cost here per meter cube, then you can calculate your own cost, right? So I select all columns first. Select all the instances in the view. I go to edit, right? The cost, right, per meter cube concrete, right? I make $150 per meter cube concrete, right? So now if you go to schedule, right, you see all per meter cube 100 per meter cube $150, right? So now we have to do some calculations. So go to format, column schedule. Okay. Go to sorting, uh, right? Format, right? Cost, right? So one way is you can calculate total cost, right? Calculate total, right? So it's calculate total, but now it's still, you see, it's giving the per meter cube, right? So we want the another row to calculate the total, multiply volume into cost, right? So we can do this one, formatting, oh, go to the field, okay, field, we add the field, okay, you see calculator, we can add the calculator, right? So this one we calculate how much of cost, total cost, right? Number is a volume, right? Basically, it's a volume, right? Formula. What's the formula? Volume into cost. Volume asterisk cost. Okay. Okay. So it's giving the unit, right? Actually, okay, you can modify this and go to format, right? Use a project, cubic meter, you say none. Here, none. Okay. So now you see, if we multiply this one, this is okay. So if you want the total cost, then go to formatting, right? So you want the total cost, the cost. So now you can see the total cost, how much, right? So if you want, you can add other things. For example, labor cost, right? So you can add another thing, right? So go to field, right? So add another thing, say labor cost, right? So labor cost, right? So now you can keep some formula per meter cube, how much labor cost, for example, per meter cube. So per meter cube, let's say, okay, right? So this one, right? Volume, right? So volume, you decide, right? Volume, volume into 30, right? 30 per meter cube, $30, right? So modify this one, right? So this is a labor cost for the each column. Then you can get the total cost also. Labor cost total, right? So it's automatically calculated for. So now you know, okay, volume also, let's get the total. Formatting volume total. So now you know, for casting the first story column, right? Overall you want almost 110 meter cube concrete, right? So this is the total cost. This is the labor cost, right? So this way you can make use of the Revit information to do the cost estimation. Okay. If you want that, you can add a new rows here, or you can delete it. If you don't want something, let's say discounting you don't want, right? You can delete it, right? Okay. If you want to add something, you can add it, right? Okay. If you want any other information, right? Basically, you can add it, right? Actually, it's quite useful, right? You can see here, right? All the information are you can see here, right? You can see here, actually all information you can see here, right? So you can make use of this information to do your own cost estimations, right? You see, it's very powerful. There's a formula, you can add it, right? Then you can combine the parameters. There's a many way to do it. You see, combine. Last time I explained to you when we do the beam naming and column naming, right? How to combine this one. So you can do all these work, right? So it's very powerful, right? So in the rebar cost estimation also you can do it, right? Rebar cost estimation we can see later on. So I basically explained to you how to get concrete cost estimation, right? Basically I use this one for concrete volume calculation, right? End of the project, right? We want how much is the total concrete volume for slab, beams, and columns. How much is the total? So normally we make use of this one, right? Cost estimation I don't use much, but for concrete volume estimation I use this one. It's very pretty simple, right? We can just create a schedule, right? Now I prepare a column, right? Similarly, you can prepare for the beams, right? It's very simple. Go to schedule, right? You select the structural framing, right? Structural framing. Then add the things. Count. We want levels, right? Then we want the mark type, right? We want the volume. What else we want? Level, if you want level. Cross section, only we have type. Length, if you want the cut length. It's mostly useful for the steel. Concrete, we don't need this one. I just show it, but for concrete, we don't need. On volume. Okay. Okay. You see, right? The second story we have this one, right? So we format this one, right? Sort by level, right? All the level. Okay. So we have all the levels, right? All the beams marking we have. So you can calculate the volumes, right? So if you want the total volume, it's easy, right? Formatting, volume, total volume, right? So we have to provide here grouping to the totals. Mark. Okay. So now you can see how much is the total volume of the concrete, right? So also you can see the heart length, right? Heart length. Okay. Okay. So these are available. If you don't want, we can delete this one. If you don't want, we can filter, I think. Can filter level blank line. Okay. Other floors I don't need, so I just using second story. Just want to know second story beams. How much is volume? Okay. So it's around 40 meter cube concrete. Okay, it's very fast, right? If you want to calculate the concrete volume, you can calculate very fast. So similarly, the steel, right? You can calculate total quantity, right? How you calculate? Okay. You have a member size. You have a kg. Then you have a cut length. Cut length into kg. You can calculate the total weight, right? Similarly, slab you can prepare it. So volume, right? So end of the day, you can add it, right? How much beam, how much slab, and how much column. So you have a total quantity of concrete. Okay. Okay. So next class, I sorted out this problem and rafting view problem. Why is happening? After I started the class, I explained how to do this one, right? So then I go to the rebar, how to add the rebar in Revit. Okay. So basically these are the 2D drawings, right? So my next class I'm going to cover how to produce a 3D details. That means in Revit we add the rebar in 3D. So we are modeling the rebar inside the Revit model, right? So currently we have the column schedules and beam schedule, right? But uh, uh, we have a drawing like this, right? Column schedule, right? But in next class, I'm going to explain to you how to produce a drawing in 3D, then you can see the all rebars in 3D. Okay, same, I use the same detail basically, this detail, this is a design detail. Then I explain how to produce this one in 3D. Then you can make use of that detail to produce your rebar schedule, rebar, or you can calculate the overall quantity of rebar, each column or every floor. Then you can make, okay, once you model this information Revit, right, now you understand how to produce the schedule, right? Make use of this information, you can produce your quantity curve very fast. You don't need to spend much time. Very fast you can produce it, right? But the problem is modeling rebar in Revit is not easy compared to other software. It takes some time. Uh, that's why normally we don't model rebar in Revit. Actually, it's very tedious job for the actual project. In your assignment, you can do it faster because very simply straightforward building. But in actual projects, right, it's not easy. Really, it's not easy in Revit. But now there are some tools, third-party tools. It's not free. You have to purchase it. Once you purchase that one, I try one tool. It look very easy, right? But it's a third-party software. It's not inbuilt in the Revit. You know how to how to input the how to install the third-party software and Revit. Very simple. Go to add-in, right? Right. So add-in, right? So if you know the name, you can add here, or you go to App Store. Okay, just I explained. In future, if you go to any company, they want this one, then you can use it, right? Here you look for rebar builder or rebar, something like this. Just search it. Rebar detailing. Then you can see the softwares. Okay, you can see these are the information. These are the softwares. They have the rebar detailing, right? So these are the softwares. These are the uh, detail you can use it. This is basically is an extension or is a how to call it a plugins, right? You can install, right? Why not working? You can able to do it. So if you want, you can use this one, right? But next class, I like to cover using Revit, but then you can feel it. Actually, it's not very user friendly. It's you have to put a lot of time to model the tree. Then you may feel why is it worth or not? Because you see now we have the 2D drawing, right? To us engineers, right? We don't need a 3D drawing anyway. We can understand these details. Contractor know how to build it, right? Then why should I model in 3D? Right? No point. It's just waste of time. But if we have the third party add-ins, right, then we can do faster. Right? Again, the questions whether we want to do it or not. Uh, okay. Contractually, if you don't want to do it, then you can use a 2D drawing. It's easy, faster. No need the additional effort, right? You see how easy this one, right? Just export one Tekla, do some modifications, then you can import it, then your work is done. But if you want to produce a 3D drawing, right, each copy you can take it and then you have to draw the rebar according to your design. Then you have to draw the proper lapping and so on, right? This is a you need additional work. But if you when you go to work with a contractor like precasters, right, then no choice. You have to produce a 3D drawings because nowadays, all these rebars, right, they write to fabricate offsite, then they bring the factory and do the concrete precast works, right? Then if you want to order this prefabricated rebar, then you have to provide the drawings, right? Uh, so, so if you provide the schedule or the elevations, right, sometimes there may be some confusion. Or actually, they need some technical person to interpret this drawing to the foreman or laborers. So that's why now some contractors, companies, they start to produce a 3D drawings. So the rebars vendor, bar, basically they are bar vendors, right? So they can understand this rebar. They don't need any technical person to interpret these drawings, right? So those companies, they already started to work in 3D rebar details, right? But to us engineers, the consultant firms, we are not using 3D rebars because basically we can understand all these 2D drawings, right? What's the point to go with 3D, right? Right. That's why we don't produce much, right? But I explained to you, it's just for some knowledge. So if you want to, then in future you can use it. Okay. Okay. I think that's all today. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I believe you already start to work on your assignments. So if you have any doubt on assignment, ask me now. Um,